Hello, this is Mr. Knowles, and this is the directions for a division game that we're playing in math class called Lowest Remainder Wins. And in class, students can get all the materials necessary to play the game. I'm going to go over the directions. The directions do talk about getting it out of their student book, which they're more than welcome to do, but that requires them tearing it out of their book. And I just took the liberty of making copies for them. So everything they need is all set. They don't have to get anything out of their student book. So let's get started. Each pair of students will need, it says workplace 4B instructions. This is in your student book, the instructions are. So you don't have to tear it out, it's right in there. You'll need a lowest remainder win spinner. I already have that made, so you don't have to tear it out. You'll need a recording sheet. I already have that made for you, so you don't have to tear that out. You don't have to worry about the transparency overlay thing. And dice, we have those in class. So I have the dice. I have the spinners. I also have challenge spinners for harder problems. And I already have these recording sheets in class for you. Step one in the directions talks about getting everything prepared, getting all the materials necessary. I just went over that. You don't have to worry about step one. So I'm going to go ahead and skip it because we have all those materials already in class. 2 really gets into getting the game started. Spin the spinner to get the first divisor for both players. Alright, start a multiplication menu for that divisor in round 1 box on your record sheet. Fill in the menu for 10, 20, and 5. Alright, so we're going to fill it in for 10, 20, and 5. We're going to put in our menu. You can add more combinations to the menu if you need them while you are playing. Okay, so there's going to be a spinner. It'll look like this, or there'll be the challenge spinner, which has more difficult numbers on it. And let's say I spun that spinner and I got 12. So on my worksheet, I have to take the number 12 and make a menu. And it talked about 3 specific numbers on my menu. So 20, 10, and 5 have to go down there at least. I'm going to start with 10 because I know that's pretty easy. That's just 120. Well, 5 is half of 10, so the answer to 12 times 5 is half of 120. That's 60. And 12 times 20 is just, the answer to that's just doubling the 12 times 10 problem. So that's 240. And the other player will do the same thing because you're working with the same problems. So the other player will have their multiplication menu as well, and they will do the same thing. Alright, so both players are using the same divisors. And I would put the 12 there as well. So if I go back to the first player's worksheet, there should be a 12. Let's go back to the directions. So we're on step 3 now. Each player rolls either 2 or 3 dice. Well, you're in 5th grade. We're going to roll 3 dice. You don't have an option there. So you're going to cross out the 2. You're not going to worry about the 2 because that's not an option. You're rolling 3 dice. So we're doing this part. So roll 3 dice to get a 3-digit dividend. Arrange the digits any way you'd like to make a dividend. Try to make a number that won't leave a remainder when you divide it by your divisor. If you can't do that, try to make a number that will leave a very small remainder. Alright? So let's say I rolled a number 2, 3, and 5. And I'm dividing, my divisor's 12. So I know that 12 might have a chance of going into a 3-digit number that ends with the number 2, because I know 12 is not going to go into a 3-digit number that ends in 3, or a 3 in the ones place, or a 5 in the ones place. So that's what I'm banking on. So I want to make the number 532, or I could do 352, keeping that 2 in the ones place because I'm taking a chance that 12 might go into one of those. I'm going to try this one. So I'm going to put 352 here. And let's see. I'm going to start off using this right here. 12 times 20. So I'm going to put a 20 here. And 20 times 12 is 240. And I have to subtract. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Alright. Now I have to see how many 12s can go into 112. Well, looking up above, I see 12 times 10 is 120. That's too big. 12 times 5 is 60. Let me use that. So I'm going to put a 5 up here. That's 60. I'm going to subtract again. 11 minus 6 is 52. Alright. How many 12s go into 52? Well, I don't really have anything in my menu that's going to help. They're all too big. So I'm going to write another one in there. 12 times 4 equals 48. That's really close, so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to write a 4 up here, and 4 times 12 is 48. Subtract. And that's my remainder. So all these together make 29. And this is, don't forget your remainder down below here. This is your remainder. So my final answer is 29, and then we just put an R for remainder 4. The other player has to roll the dice and solve their problem. So let's say they rolled their dice, and they got 1, 6, 6. And actually the order of that sounds pretty good. There might be a chance, so I'm going to write 1, 6, 6 here. And I'm going to see which problem in my menu could get me close to 166. I like the 12 times 10, that's easy, so I'm going to put a 10 here. That's 120, 6, and 46. Alright, I'm going to need another menu item. So let's do 12 times 3. I know that's 36. And 12 times 4, that's 48. That's too big. So I'm going to have to use the 12 times 3. So put 3 up here. 36. Subtract. So my answer, I need to put these together. That's 13. So it's 13 remainder 10. Okay, those remainders are important. So if I go back to the directions, we did that. So let's go to 4. Record your division problem on your own record sheet and do the division. We did that. Add any useful combinations to your multiplication menu to help as you go along. And I did that. Alright. Guess I was a little ahead of myself. Number 5. When both players have finished their division problems, explain your work to each other. So those two players will share their work with each other. Make sure they agree on that. When you both agree that the other's work is correct, enter your score on the scorecard at the bottom of your record sheet. You get 0 points if you had no remainder. Otherwise, you get the number of points that matches your remainder. For example, if you got a remainder of 3, you score 3 points. So down below on the bottom, there's a round 1, round 2, round 3. We need to put our scores there. So player 1 had a remainder of 4, and player 2 had a remainder of 10. So in here, 4 and 10. And then you would play 2 more rounds. And then you would put your totals right in here. And note that the lowest score wins the game. So in class, what I'd like you to do is actually try to play this game twice. So you're going to play a total of 6 rounds. You're going to do 1 full paper. If you have time for another paper on this, I'd really like you to do that. It's really important to make sure you understand this game. So continue to play this game. If you have questions, please ask the teacher. I hope that this has helped.